Pasensya mag-start na. Makalamba ka.
Ang mga pananaw at opinyon ng pag-uulat ng mag-uulat sa programang ito ay hindi ang pangunahing posisyon o pahayag ng pamumunuan ng organisasyong ito. The views and opinions expressed in this live report are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the management of this organization. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magpayo tayo Kainklusyon. Today is Saturday, April 2, 2022. I am your host for today, Carlos Miguel Kanahashi. Asher John Santos will be joining us as well from Calamba, Laguna. And Christian Chan will be joining with us in just a moment. Sir Mark Paulo Betita is our technical supervisor for our show today. We are broadcasting simultaneously on InkluRadio and to be viewed on the next day on the Hands in Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel. We shall commence our topic in just a moment and we will be back after our commercials. Now this. Yes, commercial muna tayo. Commercial pa rin tayo.
Para sa aking pamilya, para sa aking kapwa, at para sa bayan. Kahit mahirap, kahit masakit, mahal ko kayong lahat. Kahit anong mangyari, ikaw, ako, tayo. Ating isisigaw sa mundo. Inklusibong may tatak, angat buhay itatahak. Matapang pa rin tayo. Ang tropa, hindi nang iiwan. Ang senyas, isang instrumento. Ilang beses matumba, tayo huling babangon. Luman ang ating pinagalingan. Tayo ay muling liliwan. Para sa pangarap, para sa pamilya, at para sa bayan. Tayo ang ida. Tuloy ang inclusion.
Okay. Asher, can you read questions part, please? Again, please. Can you read? Wait.
Okay. Kainklusyon. Okay. Welcome back to Magpayo tayo kay Inclusion. Alam niyo ba nga ang espesyal araw na ito?
Asher,
Siyempre.
ipinagdiriwang natin ang World Autism Awareness Day.
Oo, araw natin to. Oo nga.
Di ba? At dahil araw natin ngayon, magsasaya tayo. Sa araw-araw na ginugusto natin na maka-adjust sa mundong ibabaw, dapat lang nabigyan tayo ng parangal. Alam mo, kahit marami-rami tayo sa lipunan, bilang mga espesyal na tao, iba-iba ang ating pinagdaanan. Asher?
Oo nga. Wait.
Mismo. Kaya naman, ladies and gentlemen, magbibigay kami ng mga paraan kung paano natin pwedeng i-celebrate ang ating espesyal na araw. So, let us have a time to discuss about the history of autism. We've come a long way in the last 100 years in better understanding and treating autism. And year by year, more research and treatment options are emerging for children and adults with autism. It was all started in 1908 when the word autism was first used. In 1938, Donald Triplett, a young boy from Mississippi, met with Dr. Kanner. He described the boy as autistic, but that word, to be honest, is a derogatory term. It's now called person with autism. Now in his 70s, Donald Triplett is considered autism's first child or the first person formally diagnosed with autism. In 1943, Dr. Leo Kanner wrote a paper describing 11 children who were highly intelligent but displayed a desire to be alone and an attachment to sameness in schedules and day-to-day life. He used the description early infantile autism. In 1944, Hans Asperger described autism as a difficulty with social and communication skills and recognized a milder form of autism that he named as which is called Asperger's syndrome. In 1967, Bruno Bettelheim develops the theory that refrigerator mothers cause autism by not providing their children with enough love. This theory was later debunked. In 1973, Dr. Ivar Lovaas created what we now call ABA therapy, which is continued to be viewed today as the most effective therapy for working with children with autism to develop language and behavior skills. In 1977, research on twins indicates that autism is primarily caused by genetics and biological differences in brain development. In 1991, the U.S. government classifies autism as a special education category, and schools began offering services to children with autism. In 1994, Asperger syndrome is added to the DSM, expanding the autism spectrum to include milder cases in which individuals tend to be more highly functioning. In 2007, the World Autism Awareness Day was created by the United Nations. In 2013, the American Psychiatric Association recognized autism as a spectrum. In 2020, Stages Learning Materials releases ARIS, the first ever comprehensive early autism curriculum, making ABA therapy accessible for teachers and parents in helping their children learn language and behavioral skills. Asher, can you read this part, yung Light It Up Blue?
Okay, Light Up Blue. Autism Speaks, the largest autism advocacy organization in the United States, encourages people to participate in their Light Up Blue campaign in April for autism awareness. Wear blue, use blue light bulbs in your home, or change your social media profiles to blue to spread awareness. In many cities, businesses will light their building blue. Search for spots in your community that are going blue. If there aren't any, reach out to your local government or business to see if they are willing to light up blue.
Bakit mahalaga yan, Asher? Yung Light It Up Blue.
Yung Light Up Blue po is para yung para natin yung bilang autism person po kahit sa hinarapan natin. Pero dito lang ginagamit sa US lang po yata.
Okay. Asher, your part, please.
Okay. Raise awareness with what you wear. Put on your favorite blue clothes, grab an autism organization hat, or wear a shirt representing an autism organization to raise awareness. Wearing your support for your autism awareness is a great way to make an impact on anyone that you encounter on the street, at the grocery store, and so don't have an autism awareness that readily available. Puzzle pieces are a universal sign of autism awareness. Buy some blue or puzzle piece ribbon at your local craft store to quick ribbons to wear.
So when you raise awareness with what you wear during World Autism Awareness Day, you need to wear blue clothes or just wear a shirt representing your autism organization as well. So let us know about the famous people with autism. There are 5 famous figures. First is a Swedish teenage environmental activist named Greta Thunberg. The creator of Pokemon and video game designer Satoshi Tajiri. Daryl Hannah is an American actress who is best known for her roles in Steel Magnolias, Wall Street, The Little Rascals, Kill Bill, and more. Alexis Weinman is an autism advocate, and she represented Montana in the Miss America pageant as a contestant. Dan Aykroyd is a Canadian actor wherein he starred in The Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters. For children with autism, keeping focus can be challenging. Paying attention to a single task or set of tasks is a skill that can be developed over time. The products like Therapy Beauty offers an outlet for fidgeting, moving constantly, or for restless hands. A quiet way to exert energy, provide stress relief, and reduce anxiety. Fidget spinner is a toy wherein you can use it as a stress relief for little fingers on the move. Sensory light up bouncy ball, firm but squeezable and perfect for sensory or tactile stimulation as a tactile roll or a sensory brush. Wiggle cushion is a perfect solution for children who have a tough time sitting still. A cross between a ball chair and a seat cushion, you can inflate it to stimulate balance and core work or deflate it to use for movement. Wiggle feet is fidgeting with feet allows excess energy to be expelled while sitting at a desk or in any chair, helping achieve greater focus. This will give a whole assortment of options to help get the wiggles out. Asher your part. Support autism in workplaces. At bakit mahalaga dito sa Philippines? Asher.
Ayun
Asher?
po, kasi kailangan po ng employment po natin para mag-raise yung money po. Kailangan ng pera po para sa financial need and kung ano pang expenses natin.
So in the Philippines, in supporting autism-friendly business, there are many businesses actively working to be inclusive of individuals with autism. Many are actively seeking to hire neurodiverse employees and to create more work opportunities for PWDs. That's why in the Philippines, we have two organizations. Asher, ano yung mga orgs? Is that Autism Society and Project Inclusion? Asher?
Yes po.
Bakit?
Pati na yung kailangan po para hindi lang yung kailangan sa negosyo, pati na yung sa hobbies nila po, pati sa needs natin.
Okay. So in reading books about autism, here are some of the recommended books that I would like to share with you. Ethan's Story, My Life with Autism, The Girl Who Taught in Pictures, The Story of Dr. Temple Grandin, Leia's Voice, Brotherly Feelings, Me, My Emotions, and My Brother with Asperger's Syndrome, and Since We're Friends, an Autism Picture Book. These books is about friendship, community, and understanding, and also to know the topic of autism as well. And this will help us understand and to gain our understanding and knowledge about autism. Asher your part, please. Spread awareness in your community.
Spread awareness in your community. Be an autism advocate and spread awareness in your own community. Learning more about autism, showing your support, raising awareness, donating to charities and organizations that support individuals with autism, or participating in fundraisers are all simple ways to get involved and spread awareness in your own community. Reach out to family, friends, co-workers, and neighbors to involve too.
Bakit mahalaga dito, lalo na sa ating Inclusion Philippines organization?
Opo, para matulungan po hindi lang sa fundraising po, sa needs po, pati na sa business sectors po natin po. And pati sa meet up ng mga tao.
That's why, Asher, we have organizations that promote autism, right? We have Hands in Inclusion, Autism Society, Autism Strong, Association for Adults with Autism Philippines, at yung Best Buddies Philippines. Tama ba?
Yes po.
Bakit mahalaga yung Hands in Inclusion, Best Buddies Philippines, Autism Society, Autism Strong, at yung Association for Adults with Autism Philippines para ma-promote ang persons with autism sa ating bansa?
Di lang, para hindi po makilala yung sarili natin sa buong mundo na po para ma-encourage na nila po yung mga tao po mismo para matulungan po mismo.
So, yung in spreading awareness, ano yung Hands in Inclusion, Asher, ano yan? At kailan ito nagsimula at sino ang may-ari?
Of course, nag-start ang HNI as action yata ng nagsimula to March 8, 2017 kay Royal Marlan po mismo nagsimula.
How about sa Best Buddies Philippines, 2014, di ba?
Yes, 2014 po.
At sino yung executive director? Ngayon, si Miss Michelle.
Yes po, Miss Michelle. Pero 2019 pa ako pumasok ng BBP po, if I remember.
How about yung ASP, Autism Society? They also do promote inclusion. At sino yung president, no? Is that, hindi ko babanggitin kasi
Mami Mona po.
si Madam. How about, that's why, bakit kailangan natin ito i-reach out para i-spread ang awareness sa ating komunidad? Without this, what will happen?
Apo, magugulo po at hindi wala tutulong po sa kanila po.
Okay. How can we spread kindness? Make the world a very inclusive place. Any random acts of kindness can help you what you care. Show others what you care. That's why we need to spread kindness. In the spirit of inclusion, we need to reach out and to show kindness to those around you. And also, it will be appreciated, loved, valued, and very important because this will have a big impact and a powerful way to show others you care. If you want to, aside from the books that you have wrote, there are other books that I'm recommending you guys to read. Look at Me in the Eye, My Life with Asperger's, Love on the Spectrum, The World Needs All Kinds of Mind, and ASPE World. So these first-person accounts or perspectives directly from individuals with autism are important. They are a direct look into the experience of someone diagnosed with autism. That's why we need to have accurate representation. So, ayun po ang mga paraan kung bakit natin at paano natin ma-celebrate ang World Autism Awareness Day. Good information sa mga mahilig magbasa dyan. Ito yung mga kwento, may insights about autism. Asher, your part please. Sisimulan ko.
Okay. Yung good information sa mga mahilig magbasa dyan, ito yung mga kwento, may insights about autism. Simula ko na i-research ang mga novels na yan.
So without further ado, here now is our topic, World Autism Awareness Day. Sir Mark, can you flash our PowerPoint please? Thank you. Ayun. Okay. Our topic for this evening is World Autism Awareness Day. Next slide, please. What is World Autism Awareness Day, ladies and gentlemen? This is an internationally recognized event on April 2 every year. The purpose of this is to take measures to raise awareness about people with autism spectrum disorders, including autism and Asperger's syndrome throughout the world. So in other words, this is a day of awareness and acceptance, ladies and gentlemen. Next slide, please. Asher, can you read this, please? Kung paano ito.
Okay. It was designated by the United Nations General Assembly Resolution A. Red 65139, where Autism Awareness Day was encountered on November 1, 2007 and adopted on December 18, 2007. It was proposed by the United Nations representative from Qatar, Her Highness Sheikh Mossad bin Nasser Al Nahyan, consort of His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, the Emir of the State of Qatar, and supported by all member states.
Can you explain it further, please?
Opo, ito yung tinatag po mismo yung their assembly day po for 2007 para ma-awareness po natin sila po. Sa Middle East pa ito nagsimula po yung World Autism Awareness Day po mismo.
Sir Mark, next slide, please. So, Asher, what are the components of World Autism Awareness Day?
Okay, the components for the original resolution have four main components. The establishment of the second day of April as World Autism Awareness Day beginning 2008. Invitation to member states and other relevant organizations to the international association system, including non-government organizations and the private sector, to create initiatives to raise public awareness of autism. Encourages member states to raise awareness of autism on all levels in the society. As the U.S. Secretary General to deliver this message to the member states and all the other UN organizations.
Okay, next slide, please. My question is, what is the essence of the event? The essence of World Autism Awareness Day is to help improve the quality of life of those with autism so they can lead full and meaningful lives as an integral part of our society. In other words, World Autism Awareness Day is celebrated because we need to improve our lives as persons with autism and as self-advocates of persons with autism and persons with disabilities, not only in our country but also throughout the world. Next slide, please. Asher, ikaw, ano ang kulay ng autism?
The color blues association to autism organized with the Autism Advocacy Association known as Autism Speaks. Their Light Up Blue campaign calls for people to wear blue to promote autism awareness.
What does this mean?
Kailangan po ng color blue mismo po para ma-spread natin yung awareness po. Kaya tinawag Light Up Blue project po. Any kind of blue po, kay normal design lang or yung may yung may plain lang po, okay lang. Basta blue po.
Okay. So next slide, please. Let us define what autism spectrum disorder is. Autism is a complicated condition that includes problems with communication and behavior. It can involve a wide range of symptoms and skills. Autism can be a minor problem or disability that needs full-time care in a special facility. People with autism have trouble with communication. They have trouble understanding with what other people think and feel. This makes it hard for them to express themselves either with words or through gestures, facial expressions, and touch. Next slide, please. People with autism might have problems with learning. Their skills may develop unevenly. Example, they could have trouble communicating but be usually good at art, music, math, or memory. Because of this, they might do especially well on tests of analysis and problem solving. Many children are diagnosed with autism now than ever before because, ladies and gentlemen, the latest numbers could be higher because of the changes in how it's diagnosed, not because more children have a disorder. Bakit ganon? Kasi, ladies and gentlemen, ganito yon. Ang autism spectrum disorder, ladies and gentlemen, ito ay isang komplikadong kondisyon na may problema sa komunikasyon at ang pag-uugali. Mahirap para sa kanila para ma-express gamit ng salita at gawa at ang facial expressions at ang touch. Next slide, please. Chris, sure, can you read this, please? And explain it further?
What are signs of autism? A lack of eye contact, a narrow range of interests or intense interest in certain topic, doing something or over and over like repeating words or phrases rocking back and forth or flipping a lever, high sensitive to sounds such as smells or sights that seem ordinary to other people, not looking and at or listening to other people.
Can you continue, please, Sir Mark? Next slide, please. Asher, ito.
Not looking at things when another person points at them, not wanting to be held or cuddled, problems understanding or using speech, gesture, facial expression, or tone of voice. Talking in of the same labo ng tama.
Sing-song, flat or robotic voice, and trouble adapting to changes in routine. So, Asher, what does this sign mean?
Opo, yan po nagiging sign po ng pagiging autism po person. Kung lahat ng pagiging normal na tao po, yan ang magiging dahilan po talaga siya. Kaya bigla tumataas ng mga cases po. Dahil especially during the pandemic, last 2 years ago, ngayon, back to normal na po, dapat po ay mawala na yung autism yata or something.
Okay. Next slide, please. So, what are the types of autism spectrum disorder? Tatlo yun. Asperger syndrome, childhood disintegrative disorder, and pervasive developmental disorder. I will explain this to you one by one. So, hi Christian, can you read this and explain this further, please, since you're here?
Yes, thank you. There are many types of autism spectrum disorders, but I'd like to focus on this. Asperger syndrome, they don't have a problem with language. They are average or above average range of intelligent tests, but they have social problems and non-scope of interests. Child integrative disorder means to say like they will develop their skills for 2 years and then it will degrade as they age. And then PDD-NOS is a term that the term they use. Doctors use this term PDD-NOS if they cannot how do I say this? Determine an actual diagnosis for your symptoms, of course.
Okay. So these are the types of autism spectrum disorder. Sir Mark, next slide, please. So what are the causes of autism? Autism is 4 times more common in it can happen in any people, in any race, ethnicity, or social background. Autism runs in families, so certain combinations of genes may increase the risk. And a child with an older parent has a higher risk of autism. Why? Because based on the causes of autism and the definition of autism, it is a complicated condition. Is that correct, guys? Asher and Christian?
Yes, correct.
Okay, next slide, please. So in relation to our topic, and what is the best gift for us and the celebration of World Autism Awareness Day? So, my question is, how can we appreciate persons with autism? Christian, can you read this and explain this further, please?
Okay. For those, di pala. This is only the The butterfly effect was a lit talk exclusive event. So let me explain the gist of all of it. Don't be nosy. Just approach us. Just approach us first. Don't overexert yourself too much. Ask if we need help before providing help. Is there anything you can help me with? Do you want me to do some? Do you want me to get? If you because helping for asking implies na we cannot do anything. So especially when we've tried so hard to cope with a disability. And don't underestimate the ability of someone with a disability. Kaya ika nga, we've done this all our lives. So let us do our thing. And if we need help, we can ask you naman. So you can help us, other words, you can help us, but also let us be able to show what we can do. Next slide, please.
Okay. This one, Christian.
Okay. Seek to understand the person and his ability before expecting to be understood. So yeah, there may be times when you're best to be respectful of people with disability. You may unintentionally offend someone, and that's fine. You have to just apologize to them and say, "Oh, I didn't know you were undergoing this one." And speak to the person for his or her caregiver. So you have to really focus on the person first before everything else. Now, speaking of this, are you familiar with what happened at the Oscars, Carlos?
Yes.
Good. Because woe betide anyone who makes fun of anyone and of someone who has a disorder. I do not condone Will Smith's actions, but to protect his wife. But he did to protect his wife. I strongly even more do not condone the joke that Chris Rock used. So just to put things into perspective for those who haven't heard of it, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it by now. So always ask the person first. Understand the person first before making up. Always on the person first. Always speak to the person first before speaking to someone else.
Next slide, please. So, to read this part, I will give the floor to Asher. Asher, ito.
All people, including people with disabilities, have value and respect and open welcome. Website and all other materials should clearly communicate the disability inclusion is a part of their recognition, mission, and values, which should be intentional for this consideration at every stage. Do not reply at you or tackle or answer after inclusion. All people should be equal participation about each project, staffing, recruiting, and planning.
What does this mean?
All yung communicate po, dapat mag-communicate tayo sa website po, saka yung iba material po para makilala po tayo lahat.
Next slide, please. Christian, your part, please. This one.
Yes. Recognize the talents of people with disabilities. We are warm and kind, but we also have talents that we want to share. So shout out to the actors and actresses who work in Coda, the movie Coda, because they are all people with hearing impairment. Also, shout out to musicians such as Slushy and Adam Young, because they both work in electronic music that made them successful. Susan Boyle as well. The Lost Voice guy. So yes, we are warm, we are kind, but we're also talented. Provide training to make inclusion successful. Inclusion is a lot less expensive than most people think, but it still takes intention to do it effectively. Be active when you want to ask people to advocate for inclusion talaga. So you need to train in order to train your staff, train your workers in order to show inclusion to the community. In the Philippines, like we said before, the Magna Carta states 1% of the entire workforce of a company should should how do I say this? Should be people with disabilities. And also use appropriate language and etiquette. Use the word disability, or maybe better yet, differential ability. Refer to people respectively and how they want. So use words that will lift people up, not weigh them down. Avoid using slurs. And not just that, respect the skin tone of PWDs as well. So if you say the words November, India, Golf, Golf, Echo, Russia, I'm sorry, this is the country. If you say that word, that's a big no-no. Even if you're not offending his disability, that's a big no-no. The N-word is a big no-no.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, ensure your communications are accessible. That's why we have to use captions in all audio and video files, and to make websites that work with screen readers that will allow everyone with hearing difficulties and low vision to have the access to your materials. Adding text descriptions, often called alternative text, to charts, graphs, images, and maps, so they are discernible by assistive technology, is important as well. Other ways that you can make online content more accessible include using a site index and adding descriptions or materials presented visually, especially for persons with disabilities, including us, persons with autism. It's because, especially for the deaf and or the hard of hearing, we need to make sure that all communications are accessible, especially captions and sign language interpreters. Next slide, please. Asher here, in layman's term. At bakit kaya natin ito? Asher?
Yes, wait then. Okay. Elias term number 1. Focus on the person capabilities. Don't be so focused on the personal disability that you don't see the person. Number 2 is thankful. Number 3, showing and giving support to other talent. Of course, yung number 1 po is dapat mag-focus ka sa capabilities. At wag ka lang mag-focus sa yung hindi nakikita po. Then, sa number 2, respectful. Dapat mag-alam po kung hindi po dapat i-bullying po yung mga tao po. Kapag inaway po o bully po ay nakakahiya po talaga po. Nakaka-discriminate po. Then yung showing and giving support for the dance po ay dapat yung dance po ay pakita po sa kanila. Kagaya yung papalabas today po, isa sa talent ko later after Magpayo po, may alala ng kaunti. Yung talents ko nila po.
Next slide, please. Christian, yours.
Number 4, be amazed of who they are instead of what they see. You'll never know a person until you really look at his character, or how he does, or how he you really never know a person until you learn his character. And this is true for people whether they have disabilities or not. Next, put yourself in their shoes. Empathize. Again, if you want to really see from our perspective, so don't be afraid. So don't always understand the other person's perspective. Well, and I will extend this to other people who are called the so-called marginalized. They're not, for me, I don't see them as marginalized. These are people who live lives differently from how we see them. We want to help them. That's why we need to know where they're coming from. And that leads me to number 6. Provide a fair equality of opportunity. If you try your best and you still cannot think of being equal, then be equitable. Sometimes equity is what you need. And if there's and if still that doesn't work, find the common ground for the justice that people needs. There's a good illustration that describes the difference between equality, equity, and justice, and liberation even.
Okay, next slide, please. So, what are the 6 ways to support Autism Awareness Month? First, start with the story. Example is My Brother Charlie, written by Holly Robinson Heath and her daughter Ryan Elizabeth Heath. In this book, it tackles about Charlie and his life with autism. A friend like Simon follows the story of a kid in a mainstream school befriending a student with autism. Different Like Me by Jennifer Elder is about an 8-year-old boy with Asperger's who introduced young readers to his heroes in math, science, and history. In order to show support, wear bright royal blue on World Autism Awareness Day. It's a simple way to promote awareness of the millions of individuals and families affected by autism. Then show your support to all your friends on social media by sharing your photos with the hashtag Light It Up Blue. Crafty ideas. Do you know that the symbol of autism is a puzzle piece? It's easy to explain to your children that just like each puzzle piece is different, each person is different, including kids with autism. And that's a good thing. Do you know that the symbol of autism is a puzzle piece? Celebrate this message with crafts using an old jigsaw puzzle. Your kids can paint pieces solid colors, then glue them to cardstock in creative designs, and you add a positive message as well. Next slide, please.
Before we continue, I'd like to petition to drop the use of puzzle piece, because people out there are advocating that to replace the puzzle piece with the rainbow infinity sign, because it better represents the spectrum of neurotypical divergences and other neurodiversity and neurodivergence. So preferably use the rainbow infinity. You
That's
never
correct.
know.
Number 4 and number 5, please, Christian.
Okay, thank you. Make a play date. Would a child might be sensitive to loudness really want to have a play date? It's assumed the answer is no, but that may not be the case. Why not approach the parent of an autistic child and ask them? Of course, play with them to know their wants and needs, because they're people. They want to have social activities. We may be challenged, but we have our skills as well. We know lots of things. That's why we need to find common denominators before and plan something around it. You might be have sticker books or insects. You might be providing a building set that both can use together. It's like you're really talking to people. How you engage with people. What activities do you like? I mean, if you unless both of you use the same character in Mobile Legends, then that's a whole different story. But I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now remember, sisters and brothers. You may remember. Don't forget the other people surrounding the child. If people with autism like me, I have brothers and sisters. If sometimes we may want to, they may want to join us, so that's fine. Normally, I really wish I could join my brothers when they play league, but then I alone am scared because I have not just autism, but I also have poor skills in league. But that's okay. But for people with autism, who you don't forget to be sociable to their siblings as well, to the people they're close with. Malay mo, you might strike common ground. Yeah. And sometimes you could help them. If you plan something with the people with autism, don't forget to let their friends join in. Next slide, please.
Asher, can you read the Sir Mark? Next slide, please. Number 6, please. Just connect.
Just connect. Simply showing that you're open and interested in a great step forward. Ano making a family affected by autism
Feel more accepted.
be more accepted to discuss if they are planning to participate in any autism month or it can be something as informative about the shape cookie or in a group walk when we practice empathy and a create for different sample and benefited.
What does this mean?
Ako, dapat siya, yung sumasali ka sa mga events po. Kagaya yung sa mga activities sa autism awareness. Noong pating 1920 pahuli tayo na person po yung na yung autism mabalik sa normal. Dapat bumalik na tayo sa in-person na mga events po sa autism po. I hope na sana po this year po, pati sa next year po. Sana nga.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, to read our summary, let's have question and explanation.
In summary, I don't think we need to explain, kaya nga sa summary. World Autism Awareness Day is an internationally recognized day on April 2 every year, encouraging member states of the UN to take measures and resources of people with ASD, including autism and Asperger, throughout the world. On April 2, the world will turn blue in honor of World Autism Awareness Day. It's all part of Light It Up Blue, a campaign spearheaded by the organization Autism Speaks that aims to foster understanding and acceptance for those with autism.
So what does this mean?
Even if you don't want to, well, blue may be the color because autism says it, but even if you don't want to wear the color blue, because based on some criticism, there is some Autism Speaks is not perfect. It has some criticism, probably a lot. I don't know. You can support us in many different ways. Just talk to us. We don't bite. We don't bite. We don't bite. We can, but we're open. Just talk to us, people with autism. We're open. We're maybe different. I think we're just open. We like to talk.
Okay. So since we're done now in our topic, so in celebration of World Autism Awareness Day, let us now have the time to pledge. We shall now recite the isang pangako pledge in English and Filipino, and to be followed by the end the R-word pledge in English and Filipino. Next slide, please. Sir Mark? Okay. So everyone, Sir Mark, can you please unmute your mic and let us recite together our pledges. Okay? Okay. Ayan, nakita mo ba? Sir Mark, open cam please for the pledge.
Wait po.
Ayan. Can you go back to our slide please for the pledge? Thank you. Okay. So, Asher, Sir Mark, and Christian, please raise your right hand and please repeat after me. Okay. Isang pangako pledge Filipino version. Ako ay
nangangakong kikilos.
Para mahinto ang maling paggamit ng autismo.
Para mahinto ang maling paggamit ng autismo
bilang kutya o katatawanan sa salita at sa gawa. Isusulong ko ang tunay na pagtanggap. Pagkalinga at pagbibigay halaga sa mga taong may kapansanan,
'Sa mga taong may kapansanan
Sa tulong ng may kapal.
Sa tulong ng may kapal.
Christian, this part please. The
Okay,
English
thank
version.
you. I
I,
state your name.
all of us here,
Okay, so promise to
promise
stop to act to stop
stop
the use of autism
the use of autism
as a joke or insult
as
as a joke or insult
in word and deed.
in word
And indeed,
and in deed.
I will work
I will work
to advance the genuine acceptance,
to advance the genuine acceptance,
accommodation,
accommodation,
and appreciation
and appreciation
of Filipinos with
of
disabilities.
Filipinos with disabilities.
So help me God.
So help me God. Sir Mark, next slide please for the end the R word pledge in English and Filipino. Please. Next slide please for the end the R word pledge. Sir Mark. Sir Mark. Next slide
He's
please.
getting there. He's getting there, Carlos.
Ayan. Asher. Asher. Ito. Can you recite the end the R word pledge please? All together. I pledge
Pledge
and support the elimination
elimination
of the
of the derogatory use
of the R
of the
word
word
from
from everyday
everyday
speech
and promote
and
the
promote
acceptance
the acceptance and inclusion
of
of people with intellectual
intellectual
disabilities.
disabilities. Ako ay
O ay
nangangako
nangangako
at
at sumusuporta
sumusuporta sa
sa
pagsugpo
pagsugpo
ng
ng
mga
mga
pang-insulto
at hindi angkop na salita
na salita
sa pang-araw-araw
na pananalita
at itinataguyod ang pagtanggap at
pagsasama
sa mga taong intelektual na kapansanan.
The messages in the pledge have a very good meaning of autism. Right, guys?
C.
So, magandang mensahe nga to. So, kaya naman, sabay-sabay po tayong mangarap sa ating lahat. On behalf of HNI Inclusion, Happy
World Autism Awareness Day.
So, Christian, your part.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for Magpayo Inclusion for Saturday, April 2, 2022. On behalf of InkluRadyo and HNI Inclusion Philippines, I'm your host, Christian Chan. Together with me are Asher Santos and Carlos Kanahashi and Mark Betita as our technical supervisor. We would like to remind everyone that tomorrow is Sunday, and as HNI Inclusion puts God first regardless of our religion, it is a day of rest and faith. Because of this, let us be courteous, considerate, and respectful to the people who are attending religious services. Your cooperation and your silence will be appreciated as you enter the presence of God or any higher being our believers believe in.
Pastor, this one please, na may awa ang Diyos. Here.
Awat ang Diyos, nakakayaos, puntahan mo, sama-sama tayo. Sa ating lahat para sa one inclusion nation. Dahil at pagkalain tayo po Diyos na po may kapal. Thank you, Almighty God, bless us all. Ngayon, ikalima anibersaryo, makabulo ng inklusyon. Angat buhay ang inklusyon.
Sa HNI,
posible.
Pilipinas,
Pilipinas,
God
God
first.
first.
HNI,
HNI, God first.
God first. Thank you for watching our show. Have a good night and a goodbye for now. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yes, Tilitsok, thank you for having me earlier.
Thank you. Hey,
Carlos.
thank you. Thank you, Asher.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
May torture.
Thank you, Asher. Thank you, Asher. See you on Saturday again in Pasay.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Good night.